The rain poured like it hadn't in weeks, soaking the sidewalks and blurring the streetlights into hazy halos. Emily, a 26-year-old waitress at Miller's Diner, wiped down the counters as the clock neared closing. Her feet ached, her apron was stained with coffee and ketchup, and the hum of the fluorescent lights buzzed in her ears like white noise. That's when she saw him, through the foggy glass window near the front booth. A boy, no older than 12, stood motionless in the rain, clothes clinging to his skin, shoes tattered, and eyes hollow from hunger. Most people would have ignored him or assumed he was trouble, but something about his posture, still, calm, proud even, caught her off guard. Without hesitation, she opened the door and waved him inside. He hesitated at first, then stepped into the warmth, dripping water onto the black and white tile floor. Emily sat him at table 9, her least favorite spot because of the cold draft, but the only one she knew would be quiet enough for him to breathe. She poured him hot cocoa without asking and brought out a bowl of soup, a grilled cheese sandwich, and a slice of apple pie, all paid from her own tips. The boy didn't say much, just whispered a soft, "Thank you, ma'am," before eating slowly, as if savoring every bite like a gift. His manners were odd for a street kid, refined, almost rehearsed. When he finished, he stood and asked if he could mop the floor or wash dishes to repay her. Emily smiled, shook her head, and said, "Just promise me you'll be okay, all right?" He gave a small bow, eyes lingering with something that felt older than his years, something noble, even. Then he disappeared back into the night, vanishing into the storm like a ghost. She never got his name, and for years she wondered if he'd made it through. It had only been one meal, one night, one small gesture. But deep down, Emily knew something about that encounter had been different. Something unspoken had passed between them. And though she couldn't explain it, she felt she hadn't seen the last of him. 15 years had passed since that rainy night, but Emily never forgot the boy she fed at table 9. Life had taken her on a quiet path. She had left Miller's Diner a few years later and opened a small bakery with her savings and borrowed hope. It was a modest place with warm lighting, homemade pies, and the smell of fresh cinnamon that clung to your clothes. One cloudy morning, just before opening, she stood behind the counter prepping the pastry case when the bell above the door jingled. A man in a tailored raincoat stepped inside. His presence was commanding but familiar, like a melody you almost remember. He glanced around, smiled softly, and said, "Does this place still have the best pie in town?" Emily returned the smile instinctively, replying, "Depends who's asking." He removed his hood, revealing sharp eyes and a confident jawline, but it was his voice, the gentle rhythm, the warmth, that stirred something in her memory. "Table 9, he said quietly, and in an instant, the years collapsed. She stared, speechless, as realization dawned. "It's you," she whispered. The boy was now a man, handsome, composed, and clearly successful. His name was Liam Hartley, and he had come back not just to thank her but to repay the kindness that changed his life. Emily listened, stunned, as he explained how that one act, her kindness, that warm meal, had pulled him back from the edge. That he had been the runaway son of a powerful family, escaping abuse and coldness. That her compassion had reminded him that there was still good in the world. Over the years, he had built his life brick by brick, education, tech, wealth, but always with the memory of Table 9 guiding him. Now he had tracked her down and had a gift. He handed her a folder. Inside was a deed. "I bought the building. It's yours now. Debt-free. And I want to fund 3 more bakeries under your name." Emily's hands trembled. She had fed a hungry boy, and now he was feeding her future. Tears fell as they embraced, and in that moment, she realized some acts of kindness don't just echo, they come back transformed, bearing more love than anyone could expect.